My name is Eric Ganabakweku. I document, videos about my building projects in Ghana. And lately, I've been talking about a business venture that we, it essentially stumbled upon because we're finding problems in building in Ghana. In this video, I want to explain a few things. Um, so, you know, um, stay tuned, stay here. If there are any questions, ask them in the comment section below. Any tips, any discussions you want us, that generates from this video, let's talk about them. But as much as my name implies, right, I'm Ghana first. I don't call myself Ghana Bakweku just because it sounds good. I feel like I'm Ghanaian first. And being Ghanaian first means giving opportunity to our people. So that is important to me. I'm not doing this China thing just because, it's the easiest thing to do. Regardless of whether I buy from China or not, I have to deal with a Ghanaian at some point in the process. A Ghanaian artisan has to help me put them in place. The reason why I have enjoyed the China space, one of the biggest reasons, is because they show you they can do it. Our people tell you they can do it. And more often than not, when our people tell you they can do it, you guys will, bear me witness. We start the work, it looks good on the front end, 75% in, looks good. The rest of the job doesn't look great in the finishing. My house, the shell was built by Ghanaians. There's no foreigner in there, right? So I know that there are some people that we can work with to get the right thing done. So everything that I'm saying here is generality. I'm not saying they are not good artisans in Ghana, and they are not good, products to find in Ghana. But the reasons why I'm pitching the China space, one of them is the fact that, one, I don't want to use my project, right, with my hard-earned money as a guinea pig, right, for some artisan, to come and test their ways around and then, not do the work right. And then when I complain about it, they tell me, Fanisa, right? It's okay, just let it be. I don't want that, right? Especially in the finishing, because in the finishing, there is nothing that you can plaster over, right? If it's not good, it's not good. You either take it out or you live with it. And I don't want to, spend money on something that I'm not happy about, right? I want to be happy when I step into the space, which means that if I have to spend a little bit more to make it what I want, that's what I'll do. And I recommend, like this conversation is going to go, either you accept it or you don't. But my thinking is that for as much money as we put into these projects, it needs to be something that when we're done, we're happy about. Because for most of us, we're only going to build once, right? Call it dream home or not, that's probably for most of us, we will only do it once. So if I do it once, especially in Ghana where resale is not really something that, people go into, houses for, you want to do the best you can to put the best you can in there. So every day when you wake up and you open the door, you fall in love with the door all over again, right? Situations where a carpenter will come and measure your doorway, go take the measurement, go and produce the door for you, come back onto site and have to plane it again for it to fit the space, that's an issue, right? If you measured it, it should fit, right? The doorway didn't get skinny while you were gone, right? So those are the things that kind of bother me. I'm not saying Ghanaian artisans are all bad, but what I'm saying is that generally, we are not attention detailed, right? We don't pay close attention to detail. We're not detail oriented. And what ends up happening is you get told, Fanisa, right? Fanisa, because the artisan, can walk off to the next project, but you have to live with that house. If it's okay for you to live with some crooked door, that sucks every 2 minutes, that's your choice. But I'm saying we have an option, right? The option is to go into a space where not only will they do the right thing, they will show you first what they can do for you. You can deliberate, and then when they deliver per what they promised. And I don't think that's a bad thing, right? I know, there's always the talk of you giving business to some other country or whatnot. If we had a country, right? We're not talking about individuals. There is so much me as a person I can do for the government of Ghana or for the economy of Ghana, right? I'm doing a lot, right? A whole lot of my paycheck is going into building the house in Ghana, right? And a big chunk of it has gone to Ghanaian artisans up to date, right? And that is fact. I didn't bring anyone from China to come and lay blocks for me, right? All that money went to Ghana, right? So it's not like I'm stealing from Ghana to go and give to China. I just want quality stuff, right? And if I could walk into a place like Inter Africa and get given rates that make sense, I'll do it in Ghana, right? If I have the money to go and do it in Ghana, I'll do it in Ghana. Why not? Why do I need to wait 6 weeks for shipping, when I could just get that taken care of in Ghana? The problem is I cannot, right? Because Inter Africa is going to ask me for more than 2 times what I paid for my windows in China for something that to me is higher quality. And to me, it doesn't make sense. At this point, it doesn't make sense for me to say, oh, let me go and give it to Ghana, right? When my pocket tells me I can get Windows plus something else for that same amount. Doesn't make sense. We can talk Ghana economy all we want, but those people are like basically robbing us blind, right? There's no reason why I should walk into a place like Chemo and pay 3 times the cost of some low grade tile when I can get premium for 3 times less in China. Think about it, right? If the businesses in Ghana were doing the right thing, I know everyone needs to make profit. But if their profit margins were not as bad as they make them, we wouldn't have the need to go look elsewhere, right? I see Turkish doors in Ghana installed for less than a year and the handles don't work properly. Do I blame Turkey for that? I don't know. Is it the artisan who didn't know how to install it properly? I don't know, right? But if I have an option to go elsewhere and find the right materials for my pocket at a very good quality, I don't think it's like from maybe what we're doing sparks change, right? Imagine a case where Billcon Solutions, the company that I introduced, our company that we formed and I introduced, last week, right? Imagine where we have enough traction that we can step into Ghana and create an avenue for people to be able to order things out of China at a lower rate, right? I don't have the resources to build a ceramic factory in Ghana, a ceramic tile or a tile factory in Ghana or a door factory in Ghana. I don't have those resources, right? But my house is not going to wait for the government of Ghana and whomever else who has the resources to do it for me. So what I can do now is venture out, and maybe this is a prospect that leads to more connection in China, that leads to me talking about ventures with people, right? But it starts from somewhere, right? It starts from somewhere. As much as I would love to put, a plant in Ghana that produces the kind of windows that I'm getting at a price that is not, equivalent to me having to sell a liver, to get windows for my house, maybe that's an option that we choose. But at this point, it does not make sense, right? Maybe as a collective we could spark change. But the way things are, you go to Kimo, you go to Palace Home Decor, you go to West African, West African Hardware. I've forgotten the name. I'll put it on the screen. You go to any of those places, the amount of profit these people are charging is so ridiculous, right? There's a reason why sometimes you go into the spaces and you see these high discounts because they mark them up so much that they can give you a discount. And the discount you're getting They're not making a loss from it, right? They're not losing money by giving you the 25% offs. They're not, right? Because they marked it up so much in the beginning that if it's not selling, they can tell you, oh, we reduced the price. They really didn't, right? I've seen prices in China when it comes to premium grade tiles better than what our people go to China and buy to put in Ghana spaces. That's a promise. Premium grade. What when you go into into China and you ask for the Western American standard, that's what they call premium grade. It's better than the first grade tile. And some of the tiles that we see in Ghana are not even first grade. They buy bottom of the barrel, mark it up as premium, and sell it to you and I. Why? Because we don't have an option until now, right? I'm not trying to make Ghana poor. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But I'm trying to be able to survive being able to move to Ghana and live in the house that I built and help push the economy forward by doing something on the land, right? I can't go broke trying to do this. Then you know what happens? I'll never move home, right? And if I don't move home, then how am I helping Ghana if my house doesn't get built, right? Regardless of size, right? Regardless of the depth of my pocket. If you get your bill of quantities, let's say you got your bill of quantities a couple of weeks ago, and you budgeted and you know you need X amount of money for a 2-bedroom. Now cement prices are going up. With cement prices going up, other things will go up. The dollar and the cedi, they are fluctuating. The cedi is losing value. It went to 14 a few days ago, right? So this flip-flop going on affects the market. So imagine a case where you had this in mind that, oh, I need to raise X amount of money to finish a 2-bedroom, right? Based on the bill of quantities and the prices now. You go back to the market, those prices changed, which means that your project will be dragged further, right? And if it continues doing that, when prices of cement have gone up more than 3 times, right, during the lifespan of my building project, a lot of people cannot afford it, especially our people in Ghana. What I would love to see, right, and I know this is, baby stages, but what I would love to see is for example, Billcon Solutions to create a presence in Ghana that gives the people a competition, like the Chemos and the Palace Home Decors, a competition. The problem is that you cannot do that without a solid backing just yet, right? Business in Ghana is funny. People are connected in places that, you would be broken down before you even start. So it's better to build a presence, to build a support system before you try to broach going into that market. Once again, pushing people to buy from China doesn't mean I hate Ghana. I don't. I wouldn't be building in Ghana if I hated Ghana. I hate the way business is done in Ghana. There's a difference, right? All I'm trying to show everyone is that you can get better for your money elsewhere. And maybe if we do it a lot, these businesses will realize that we found out that there are options and they will change the way they do things. Don't put two, sheets of glass together, laminate them together and tell me it's double paned. It's not. It's just laminated glass. Simple. Right? KS50. When I asked about KS50 in China, none of the big factories are using KS50 anymore. Remote factories, remote aluminum profile, fabricators still do it. Why? Because there's a market for it. Our people go and that's all they buy. Why? Because they think that's what we can afford. And I'm telling you, if you've built a house with KS50 in it, you could afford 110 series at the right price. If we can have this honest conversation, let's have it. Right? Let's have it. And I'll say this again. None of the things I'm doing, on my channel and with the creation of the company is to to put business in Ghana in bad light. It's basically to give us the power, right? Take our power back as the buyer. Because if the seller knows that you have options, it changes the way they do business, right? We have that authority. It's our money. So how about we use that to our advantage, right? And step into this space. Eventually, people will realize no one is buying from our store. And they'll ask the reason why. That is how fair market is created. What I'm asking for is a revolution, right? What I'm trying to pitch is a revolution. For those of us who can afford it, for those of us who, and I think most of us, if you're building in Ghana in this space, you can afford to buy from China. The prices are that good.
Hello,
Right?
Eric.
The prices are that good.
Showroom.
I'm not taking anything away from, some artisan in Ghana. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying the way business is done in Ghana needs to change. And that's what I'm advocating for. Right? This conversation can go on and on. But the hope is that one day, maybe we can do this so well so that it changes the way business is
Those
done in
are
Ghana.
all 600 by
right?
1200.
If our name, if BCS's name is attached to that story, at some point, it'll be an honor, right? But a lot of us, work hard for our money, or I'll say all of us.
This one is
let me just go back to a lot of us.
700
work hard for our money, generally speaking.
1500.
Right? And a lot of us don't want the same door that the next door neighbor has. That's where custom comes in, right? A lot of us want to be able to have a say in what we put in our houses at a price that makes sense, right? Because to me, it doesn't make sense to, just because I want to help some artisan, right? Give them work that I know they'll do shortly when I could have gotten it quality made from somewhere else. We're not building these houses to resell, that you say, oh, maybe apartment style, and you say, oh, when this tenant finishes their tenancy and they leave, we can decide to change the floor. So let's put some cheap tiles on the floor. That's not what is going on, right? For a lot of people, we are building one house, and that is the only house we'll ever build, right? And if you can afford to do it with time, no one is rushing you, and you can take your time and buy good materials, put it in that space, materials that you can always see and say, oh, I remember this, I remember that, I remember the process that it took to be that. And at the end of the day, you finished your house and you still have your liver. That's a win, right? I appreciate you guys watching this video. Please come talk to us, right? Sometimes it's daunting when you think about, the quality that you might see of us, putting out on this. For those of you who have already entrusted us to seek, quotations for you, we are honored, and hopefully we get to do, we get to be a part of your building journey, right? But if you haven't, if you haven't made that move yet, come talk to us, right? Send an email to us. Let's chop it up. Let's see what we can do for you, and then have that conversation. Like, at the end of the day, you window shopping, right? If you look at the quality, and you decide you want to give it to a Ghanaian artisan instead, that's your choice, right? But I know for most people, once they see the prices that we can offer you compared to the quality that you'll get, it becomes a no-brainer, right? We just trying to get people good things worth their money, worth their hard work, right? Nothing against the Ghanaian artisan. If they were doing quality work at an affordable price, it would make no sense to go to China or elsewhere or Italy or Turkey. Why do we have Turkish dollars in Ghana? Why don't we have a factory in Ghana making good security doors? We have Turkish doors. Or is it because we're selling it in Ghana, we're giving to the Ghanaian artisan? Doesn't make sense, right? It was manufactured somewhere else. So the argument that, buying in China takes away from the economy and whatnot, to me, is a moot point, right? Um, Billcon Solutions is doing something different, right? What we're doing different here is telling you that you have an option, right? You are not limited to what Palace Home Decor has. You don't have to drive to Palace, different shops at Palace, have them call around to see if they have something in stock and all of that, right? You don't have to. You can go to the same places Palace Home Decor gets their tiles from and pay cheaper. That's all we're trying to offer you. If that appeals to you, come, let's talk. If you're hell bent on making sure that the employee at Palace Home Decor, gets their paycheck, that's fine too, right? At the end of the day, the people at the top are the one eating all the money, right? The storefront person, right? The salesperson, it's not really getting a chunk of a big chunk of the profit, the exorbitant profit that they're making on these tiles, right? Um, yeah. Anyway, I'll end this here. I know the China space is not for everyone, but if you are going to buy anything from any of these stores that I've opened, I've already mentioned, Palace, Kimo, all of those places, you are already buying from China. You're already supporting the China economy. So how about you support China economy on your own terms, right? And stretch your money more. Something to think about. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Right, we'll be bringing more content soon. If you need to talk to us about China, send an email to billconnectsolutions@gmail.com. I'll put it on the screen. We look forward to talking to you. Right, all the best in your building process. May we all be able to, make the funds, get the good materials, get the good products that will make our heart happy. Once we finish these buildings and step into them, we can open a door, we can walk on a piece of tile, you can look around your space and be happy that you were part of the process and you got everything you wanted, right? Not some mismatch tile, because when you went to Palace Home Decor, the tiles that you chose, right, because the artisan didn't measure properly, the tiles that you chose are no more. So you have to match with something else similar, right? We're spending so much money, we're spending enough money in these spaces that I don't need to walk on a space and have a regret every time I see the tile patterns change because of some mistake that was made, right? It's something to think about. I appreciate you all. God bless you. You know, let's continue this conversation in the description, in the comment section below. I should say in the comment section. Let's continue this conversation there. I know we all have stories. If this is for you, come, let's talk. If it's not, I cannot convince you. All right. Thank you.